Hello everybody, welcome to another ESL Open Cup career. It's Monday. It's time to get another week of SC2 started with Hope Story Cup later this week as well. And today, of course, ESL Open Cups by covering Korea as usual. I'm going to be kicking this off in just a few. We're waiting for the bracket to come online. When bracket comes up, we should be fairly good to go. So, that underway and settled. And we'll get everything, like I say, started up fairly shortly here for some SC2 action. Yeah, just waiting to see who's around and who's about to play. My ESL channel is full. Our bracket is not quite online just yet. We can check the player list quickly. Björn, I mean, it's going to be all the regulars, right? Björn, Classic, Cyan, Dark, DRG, Firefly, Gumiho, Hero, Jim, Yeshi, Coffee, Oliveira, Nightmare, Rex, Shin, Ryung, Raynor, Solar. Q not checked in, but Trap is in that list as well. So there you go. That's what everyone is looking like. That's what all the names are. Seems fun. As we'll get ready to rumble, like I say, in just a few. Kick off into some action just as soon as we have a bracket. We can tell you guys what the plan is. Who we're going to try and get in game with and all the rest of it from there. So working on that. Like I say, it'll be underway in just a few. How's everyone doing? I got on sad. A couple minutes stream delay today, guys. So will be a little bit slow on replying and stuff, but such are the rules of the Open Cup. Bracket just went live. Perfect. So let's have a look at this. Let's see who's going to be playing who early rounds. Beyond DRG would be a second round matchup. Rex versus Ryung is an opening match. Winner of that plays Gumiho, Nightmare, and Classic will meet round 2. Trap versus Coffee. Winner plays Raynor. Actually could be kind of fun. That looks like maybe they'll go to, in fact. A lot of the other first rounders are... Yeah, there's just enough players right now to kind of force the second round to come into play, so... Makes it kind of interesting. So yeah, I think we'll go Trap versus Coffee. And we'll go from there. Everyone see Trap and Coffee both online. So we can look for an invite with those guys. Perfect. Ask for the invite and we'll just wait for them to get vetoed up. And we'll be able to go. So some Terran versus Protoss coming in. And just a few guys get this ready to go and underway. Get this started out. Figure this out in just a few. Alright, perfect. So some StarCraft 2 action coming up. Again, all the action for today's Open Cup Korea. Get this ready to go in just a couple. Ellie, I'm gonna come in and say hi to the start of the stream. Hello. I'm gonna come say hi to the stream. Go on. Jump up. Come say hello. Up we go. There we go. Come say hi to everybody. Beautiful. Yep. Up marks. There you go. There you go. Good girl. Alright, so she's chilling. And he's doing her thing. I think it's so Coffee and Trap are going to invite us as soon as they are ready to go. It's just a matter of waiting for them to be ready to go. Hopefully shouldn't take us too long. And we'll get off into what is actually kind of a fun first round matchup, TVP, and you know, one where a couple of players, I mean Coffee's quite the aggressive player, so it definitely makes for, like I say, an interesting little matchup here to start us out, if nothing else. And that is our invite even, so we're actually going to be good to go here in just a sec on Oceanborn to start the day off. Even better. Move along nice and quickly. Perfect. A bunch of people jumping in here, so we got this Trap Coffee PVT ready to go. And we'll be underway very, very soon, guys. Thank you for a little bit of patience just at the start, although it's a pretty quick start, to be fair. Once the bracket went up, we got going pretty much immediately. And we are going to head into our Terran on Protoss action in just a few. Kick this off. Hey, thank you so much, Mad Alien, for the 51-month resub. Appreciate it. I think we are pretty much just good to go here, so countdown begins. We were just waiting a little bit for a couple of players. Getting that underway now, though. Alrighty, countdown's coming through. Let's get in game. Into Coffee versus Trap, some TVP action as mentioned. Let's start this one off and see what's going to happen. As we have on the top left-hand side is going to be our Red Terran player. This is going to be the beautiful Coffee. Beautiful with all of his cheese and all the rest of it. And in the bottom right, our Blue Pros player is going to be Trap. So, a little bit of TVP action. We're already going to be seeing this going very much so the way of expectation here as our barracks drops on in. Barracks going to be finishing and just going to be seeing our first Reaper on the way out as we get that underway, so we get that started. Probe nibbles at the SCV. And it's going to be seen SCV taking a few shots of damage. Other probes coming across. Going to be seeing the Reaper coming in, obviously arriving a little bit earlier than usual is going to allow it to potentially get a little bit more done as well. So some extra damage coming out here. Is the Reaper going to turn back onto some probes? Stalker out. It's going to be the start of a better defense, I imagine. So this shot should start to look a little bit better from here. It's going to have ourselves the reactor coming up. All the rest of it coming through. Oh, still so good. Let's just have our Reaper going to continue in. Just going to go after that probe for a couple moments longer. And just going to get rid of that. So that is going to be our probe going down. Our Reaper will turn back onto the map now. Actually going to head out into the center a little bit. Adept's still moving, and you have, again, Stalker and Warp Gate both on the way out. Well, grenade goes off, popping the Stalker around a little further as our Nexus sets up on the far right-hand side. Super is going to come back through again. The Adept is going to be there. The Zeld also making its way through. Just having ourselves another grenade. Stalker will get popped back, but the Adept chasing will get rid of the Reaper. So, all said and done, I'd say a pretty comfortable position for Trap. I feel like you can't really complain about how this has gone so far. It seems as though it's, honestly, you look at this and it's like, well, yeah, setup is reasonable. Game is in an okay place. Yeah, you got proxied, but you kind of, you know, survived through without too many issues at all. So, looking kind of good across the board. Have our top couple of Cyclones in this medevac right now is making their way down to the bottom right-hand side. So they're going to go across, get in towards the base, and try and find further damage. However, I do feel as though the the fact that we're kind of sitting on the double Phoenix should give you a pretty good defense setup against this. So got to be a factor as well. So you have the Cyclones going to get lifted immediately here. As one Phoenix kind of got hurt. We're actually going to drop the Cyclones to go after the medevac. Now we're going to be able to lift one of these Cyclones again. The other one is going to get away for the moment, and Adept going down too. This felt a little bit messy, although I suppose it wasn't too bad all said and done when you look at it all. Still got Marine Stim, the bunker coming through. Extra SCVs coming about as well. Phoenix still up to the top. Moving up there, going to be getting into the main in just a few moments. As they head on in, just going to be seeing an SCV getting lifted there pretty much instantly as well. Dropping down the Robo Bay at the same time, so it's going to get that on the way as the next step here. Bring that through. Let's see, get Trap moving into this Phoenix Colossus setup, and should be feeling pretty comfortable with that. Obviously a very safe way to play, and it definitely feels as though if you're playing against Coffee, he's going to try the 2 base all-ins and SCV pulls. Safe, stable play like this is kind of the way to get there. And you look at resources lost, it's been very efficient for Trap so far, so the start of this game couldn't have gone better for a player who's going to have to be the defender in the near future. Means the Cyclone still moving back against him. Combat shield coming up, +1 attack still coming by. As we see the Cyclone locking on, the Phoenix will be taking a little bit more damage. Nothing too major, just scaring them off. They do have the medevacs coming across the map now as well, so expecting that to be coming into play fairly soon. As you have the Lib. As you jump atop of those couple of Stalkers as well. Medevacs into the main base. Marines already unloading. The Phoenix come through. Going to go after those medevacs. A couple of Zealots taking shots as well. We've seen the Phoenix still making their way by. And Super Battery is actually going to go down. So Trap getting a little bit caught up in the moment. A little bit out of position. We'll have to stop to knock down the Widow Mines before he moves much further forward. However, once he does, Colossus against the Marines is going to be great. And now we've got a full medevac that's being hunted. Okay, we actually left it alone. That was a very scary moment, in fact, because that could have all gone very, very wrong. Very quickly there, honestly. So nice for Coffee to keep the medevac alive and get it away. But honestly, still not exactly great. As you look at this situation, you see the Phoenix and the Colossus chasing. Trap is comfortable chasing as well, which is not a great sign that he feels so okay about just running this army down. That doesn't exactly bode well for you, right? So not ideal. Bunker coming up. The extra gates and the Twilight Council continue to come through. Stargate still cranking out some additional Phoenix along the way now. Medevacs gathering together. Bio units underneath. The Widow Mine joined up as well. It's going to begin to make a bit of a move out onto the map with that army, and away we go to try and see what it is we may get up to. Hobbs still just chilling out. Just gonna see how Phoenix gonna go running after Medivacs as well. It's a good shutdown once again by Trap, forcing the unload and just stopping these units from getting into good places. You have our Colossus firing a couple more shots. Marine goes down. The Bioforce gonna get rid of a pylon as well. Oh, Nexus drops in, and we have ourselves the Starport Vikings all on the way out as well. Continuing to bring our way through here currently. Army's still pushing it forwards from Trap. Starts a comfortable lead again. It's been a comfortable game from him thus far. So it's not really been not much of an issue all said and done. It really has just been looking good for Trap so far. And as his army gets better and stronger, I mean, the longer this game goes, the more I worry for Coffee, because we know him as this super aggressive, going to be all over your face kind of player. Like, he wants to be up in your face. He wants to be aggressive. That's Coffee in a nutshell. I think there's getting a little lift and a pick over that. Let's see what Phoenix still. Hopefully, we'll see being able to provide a lot of map control, a lot of vision is a big deal. So nice to be able to see that too. The army continues back down the bottom side. Extra Ghosts in production. There's a Hot Charge through. They're going to get a Marauder. Double Viking shots coming back in return as well. Just coming back for that. You have our Marines unloading, and they're going to get rid of the battery. A couple of Zealots continue to come on through. And these Marines continue to get whacked down. Phoenix still fighting the Medivac. We're going to lose a fair amount for Phoenix. Maybe not as important, deeper into the game, but Phoenix is still nice units to have. They can almost always find something to, put themselves in use for. So I wouldn't ever say we want to get rid of those Phoenix without getting too much out of it. Trap just continues to improve his tech. I mean, we've got Storm on the way. We've got ourselves +2 attack finishing. Blink even. Again, just improving his situation in the game. He is in zero rush to do anything in particular. He just knows. Take your time, set up, and things are probably going to look okay for you. Armory and Engineering Bay both on the way out now as well. So bringing those through. A few additional Marines also in production. Also, still moving forward. We have ourselves a couple of units. I mean, Coffee is tacking up. He is hitting ghosts and so on, so he is hitting some of those units you kind of maybe need to see here to really continue to have success. Fire gathering up once more. The 2-2 upgrade still coming out. So just now getting those started. I mean, it does mean that Trap will continue to advance to +3 attack, and his opponent is not really catching up. Like they say, the armory was not exactly kind of perfectly timed or anything, right? So we have a little bit of a problem perhaps as we move onwards. Just going to be seeing our Colossi, Zealots, Archons all knocking through this location and going to open up some rocks. Actually, army comes through the center there. They dive forwards. Doesn't do too much just yet as our Prism moves away. We're now going to be seeing the Vikings actually getting a good chase. This is an amazing fight for Coffee. He's able to chase. He's got plenty of EMPs available. He will get Colossus very quickly, so he gets rid of a lot of the initial splash. Now, though, Storms from the behind. He actually only dropped one of the two before an EMP came down, which is a bit of a shame. All things considered, that definitely felt as though that could have been a whole lot more. Storms continue to drop. Vikings will land. Stalkers are getting shot at. And, I mean, Trap, I think, cleans up, but my goodness, this was so expensive compared to what it needed to be. It felt like this was a game where Trap was really controlling, but gets caught on the map, has a horrible time trying to retreat, and it all kind of just goes wrong from there. And that is going to be more or less the end of this. Our Storks keep on blinking. They keep on getting medevacs. More damage being done. Continue to play cleanup here as our Star will go down. Trap is super quick to rebuild. He's been in a more comfortable position all game, and that is absolutely going to show right now as the SCVs pull into Archons. I'll let you guys in on a little secret. Pulling SCVs into Archons ain't really it. As SCVs all go down, Coffee is going to tap GG's, and Trap is going to find himself game number 1 of this best of 3 series to start off today. So Trap first to take a dub in today's set of games. Sorry guys. Drop something. There we go. Alright, game 2 coming up then in just a couple of moments. We'll get this on the way. Trap's already in a lobby. Let's join that ASAP. And let's get this back on track. Get this set to go. Perfect. Okay. So, ready's set, and we are going to jump into our next round. Get this one ready to go. Remember, winner of this play is Reno, which should be a fun next round match as well. Might just be the section we end up following throughout the majority of the day. Alright, let's go. As we have in the top left-hand corner, the red Terran player, this is Coffee. Taking on the blue Protoss in the bottom right side from Gen G, it is Trap. Get this one up and roll. Alright, well, Rack's coming down, gateway setting up. We got ourselves going for the first few moments here with the Probe Scout. This Trap would love to just double check what is going on. We're going to get some nibbles up on the SCV, so already able to cause a little bit of trouble. So putting some damage in. As you do see our SCV going to turn around and start going after this probe. This is a SCV down already, so that's definitely disastrous. You're not meant to lose an SCV against the initial probe. That much is absolutely certain. Well, that much I'm absolutely certain about. So that's already a little messy, little mistake made. Look to try and build on that and fix on that in the near future, I guess. As our probe continues to move on down. Just having our probe then mean a bit of movement. Can set up, the Marine comes over, probe gets chased. We have ourselves the Twilight Council continue to come up as well, so we continue to bring that through. It comes in, a couple of probes start to take some shots. Reaper's going to turn around, going to get rid of another probe in the process. Just going to get a little grab on that. And not a bad little attempt from the Reaper. Only one probe dead though, so not super amazing either. You have the Marines denying on the other side of the map, trying to deny any scouting, trying to stop any information from being gathered here as best as possible for the moment. Well, couple of adepts setting up. Obviously, it's a blink play from Trap, moving away from that Stargate from the last game. And Coffee finds some success with his aggression. Again, that's what you expect from Coffee. That's how we expect him to kind of come out here, firing up a storm of kind of bio units, just kind of, you know, pushing on across. Waiting to see if what will be the case or so is Twilight Council Chrono boosting again. Again, continue to get that blink online from Trap. Arguably, Blink is a little bit of a less safe way to play than Phoenix and so on. So Phoenix are just so good defensively. So it's definitely one thing to take note of here. Well, the Depths and the Stalker are going to gather and move down to the low ground, so away they go. Just a little bit as well. We now have Stim and Combat Shield coming up on the side of Coffee, so bringing Stim and Combat up from Coffee, getting that underway. We do have, obviously, here the attempt to move into a fairly quick bio play, kind of coming to the surface now, so playing the 3 racks early. The factory will just produce some additional support to that. No starport, most importantly, in sight for the moment. It'll take a little while for that starport to be added in, most likely. Greens and the siege tank chilling out on the natural. Stim Combat Shield, like I say, not far from finishing. When they do get done, expect that Stim and Combat Shield to have a big timing attached to it. Not be surprised if Coffee even pulled a few SCVs to set up this time and attack window across the map. Really went and tried to kind of dive in and get a whole lot done. Again, it's just Coffee in a nutshell. There we go, a few SCVs will indeed pull, so the big aggressive attack is on its way. Trap prepares, Immortal on the way up, so additional kind of sturdy defenses. Batteries across the third and natural, very important to have too, so he does get the correct, you know, kind of step towards preparation being made. I'm guessing the SCVs arriving. Our Stalkers doing what they can to slow this down. Obviously, if you can force it to siege early, that would be incredible. The Immortal just currently sat out on the ramp, and well, tanks coming in from the left. There's the initial stim. Super Battery will pop immediately on the further back battery, so it keeps you a little bit safer here. Blinking the Stalkers as well. Super Battery will fall. How are we feeling about continuing? Well, it looks as though Coffee absolutely does want to just continue. I don't hate it if Trap loses the third base. I mean, this is fairly committed from Coffee, so it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. The Immortal wants to either go pick off, well, actually, to get rid of that siege tank would be absolutely massive. Reinforcements in general would be huge to get rid of. He lets that tank slip by. Okay, does get it with the Stalkers. Now the tank's unsieged. Maybe the moment you actually want to get moving as Trap in terms of trying to take a trade against this, trying to get something done. Immortal is going to get picked off as the tanks and the bio units are able to get away, chasing those Stalkers back. So the Immortal out on its own. Stalkers doing what they can. But already you can see the trouble amassing here from Trap. He's absolutely in a little bit of bother. He is not in a comfortable position in the slightest right here. And it looks as though Coffee is going to take a lead in game 2 and threaten to tie up this series 1s apiece on the first match of the day in the ESL Open Cup Korea. Stalkers will trade, they get rid of a siege tank, one Stalker does go down. Immortal returning back home, Nexus on the third base. Trap doing what he needs to re-establish his home presence. To really find comfort in this game. Again, get that third back up. Got you kind of Dark Shrine, which is also a very cool way to potentially come through and to try and deal some damage. So Dark Shrine could be very interesting here as well. Hobbs just hanging out overhead. Just hold tight for a few moments and see where and how and what we're going to end up doing. He's just sending again another big SCV pull. Going to be a question mark of has Trap been, having enough time to prepare. Comes in with the Prism. A couple DTs show up. DTs are the potential big issue, right? Because DTs could force the Terran into a weird spot. If you can force the Orbals to lift, if you can force them to not have scans available, you know, eventually you run out of scans as well, so DTs will slowly chip through that army. If I'm trapped, yeah, I like this kind of, you know, fight at the front, you know, force field, super battery, etc. Just keep slowly sending DTs in. Don't need to do anything too drastic. Stalker's picking off reinforcements. This is the slow but sure way to see some success here. So I love Trap's way of handling this so far. Stalker's around the back, going to get rid of a couple of the tanks as well. Okay, I like that too. Like I said, this is really just about if you can keep on getting DTs in there, 1 or 2 at a time. There is a turret in the back, actually. Didn't notice that one initially, but that does go down, so this DT will force another scan. And right now you can see there probably isn't a scan available. No, there is not, so without a scan, okay, there it is, available there. Now a turret on the natural, but that's only there, right? There's only so much place, or so many places you can go where that turret is going to cover you, so it does still limit you in a big way. Well, we recall the prism back. Alright, well, again, just need these units to kind of run out of turret range, run out of detection range. 2 more missile turrets building, slow and steady, says Coffee. As you're going to see Stalkers going, and they get rid of 1 and 2 siege tanks, so they actually get rid of both the tanks, and now it's just bio units. I think that DT is going to be too close to that turret on the low ground, but does get away after the mistake was made. Now Dark Shrine likely in trouble as Trap is rebuilding some of his production. I mean, again, this Bioforce is hurt, it's injured. There is the Dark Shrine dead. How many DTs we got left? 3 DTs still remain. That's Trap. He's about to equal up the army supply. He's got his opponent's buildings all floating. He is still shedding away at the army, at the space on the other side with the DT as well. And this is the orbital command that remains. There is a scan available right now. Trap, the ability to blink gives him obviously a lot of value able to be found in this army composition as well. So that's also a big deal. You're actually going to come running up here. Battery is going to do its work. Prism to micro. A few pros will pull as Trap knows all he has to do is hold on, and he's absolutely done it. Beautiful defense from Trap. Slow, systematic. Took a while to figure out and put all the pieces of the puzzle together, but he got there in the end. And the hold is made. Always scary when you're in defenses like that because it feels so close to all falling apart, but he did just exactly what he needed to keep himself in a better position. And Trap advances on to play Reyno in round 2, in the round of 16 a day. There is going to be Trap Reyno coming up in just a couple of moments. We'll get that on the way very shortly. Perfect, so we'll ask for that invite and get that ready to go in just a few moments, guys. Yeah, in today's ESL Open Cup career. Get that all set to go. Alrighty, so we're just waiting for Trap and Reyno. Reyno's here. Trap obviously just played, so it shouldn't be too long for us to get into game on this one, guys. And we'll get that PVZ set up for you all. And that's going to be our next plan. Alright, so just a few moments, guys, to get this underway, get this figured out, get our next PVZ underways in the near future. Just waiting for our Trap Reyno match to come about, guys. Again, videos will be done, so on. It'll just take a few moments. So yeah, guys, just playing the waiting game here, but shouldn't be too long. As I say, Rhino is around, so should be able to get that going fairly soon. Hopefully very soon. Just chilling. How's everyone doing? Again, 2 minutes stream delay, so it's a little hard to chat to you guys, but I hope you guys are doing great. Other matches moving along. See Hero getting into games. Looks like he's got an opponent. Dark playing Firefly. Hero playing Shin. Oliveira is currently setting up to play against Cyan or Fork as well. DRG and Beyond are already at it as well. They will play the winner of Rain or Trap. Nightmare and Classic have met each other as expected. I believe Rex Ryung is still ongoing, so still think that one is underways. Alright. Like I say, back to the waiting game of Rhino versus Trap. Hopefully get this one sorted out nice and quickly. Bam, bam, bam. Alrighty, we just want anything to happen. Yeah, interesting week, because obviously Story Cup is later in the week. There's not actually much going on after initial sets of games today. Trap just hopped into a lobby, so it looks as though we're not going to be far off from getting into some games. Slight Delta is seemingly going to be our first map here. And it is going to be Trap versus Reno then coming up for us in just a few. We get this ready to rumble. And it is going to be more PvZ for us, guys. So, into some extra PvZ action. As we have the round of 16 matchup. Great matchup. Rhino on Trap. Definitely a very fun one. We get this started up here. Freddy's and Go-Go's all cold. We get this started. We get this going. Let's see what will happen. In the top left-hand corner, our blue Protoss player from Gen G, it is going to be Trap. While in the bottom right, our red Zerg is Raynor. Getting the probe on the way up as we get this underway. We get this all started out here. Let's see what's going to happen. Hatchery drops down onto the third base location. Gateway coming up, assimilator on the way through. Get ourselves settled in. As our probe scout does come across the map to try and see a little bit of what is going on as well. So just trying to find some info here. Move on through. Nexus starts up on the natural. We are going to be seeing our overlords continue to move about a little bit as well. Now our overlord is going to be moving across here. So just going to be taking some positions. Couple queens and link speed continue to come about. Depth still building. That's the early stages. Not meant to be too exciting, and we do just have these couple lings going to go chase our probe down. Rhino has obviously meaning career around one definitely wasn't the stay he wanted it to be. But making the most of playing these open cups has seen some good success. I feel like he should be a favorite against a trap. Again, got ourselves the Oracle coming about, the Warp Gate coming through. As you just got those couple lings still gathering here for the moment. 2 Adepts on the map already from Trap, and they will look to get around this probe returning home from duty, and we'll just have the Oracle still setting up as well. So Oracle comes by, the Warp Gate comes up. Probe actually pulls over to the side as the Stalker's just starting to hit the Overlord a little bit, and few lings actually run by the Oracle, so the Oracle will see that those few lings are coming across the map as the Oracle also heads towards the natural and soon to be the main base as well. Drones start to go down as Depths at the 3rd base. There's a good amount of damage. 4 workers going down. Oracle will activate onto another couple of drones as well. Happy to take some shots to find 3 more kills. Quite a lot of shots in the end, but not terrible as well. Oh, the lings kind of get in. 1 or 2 of them are able to slip by and add some extra damage to that Stalker. Stalker will go down. The next Oracle has to pull back defensively and will activate to play cleanup there, as that will be the cleanup and the pushback made for now. More lings being chased about. Oracle chrono boosting off the Stargate. The probes pull in. The lings get turned around. Another few probes still moving over. The Adept will be there. Another Zergling killed. As our Stalker and the Oracle still hanging together. More of those Adepts get whooped in on the natural. Our Oracle going to be there. Stalker going to put some damage out onto the Overlord. Movie taking some shots. We will finally get rid of this. That Overlord does go down. Took a little bit of time. It's Chase. Oracle still hunted back. Do have ourselves the Queen's going to get in position again. The Oracle's once again taking a couple of shots. The Oracles will activate and go after the hatchery. Queen's still going to hit the Oracle's back just a little bit further. You're going to see the lings coming in and actually getting surrounded one of those Adepts. Now the next Adept's taking some damage too, so a few different Adepts going down. Damage adding up here is a couple of lings will still go after these Adepts, but overall, Tread Out's not so bad for Trap. Gets quite a few of the lings cleaned out at this stage, and he did kill a lot of drones of Raynor, so feels like a fairly reasonable opening to give us a good little game heading into the next stage now, into this PVZ. oracles continue about. Another upgrade coming through. Overlord speed skill coming up, about halfway done at the moment. There's a gateway dropping down, a few additional stalkers coming up, +1 and blink still on the way through. Again, +1 blink continuing by. 10 roaches, 6 lings, all in production. Island Queen gathering up on the south. On the right side, a 5th hatchery setting up as well. A few lings going after those adepts. Blink and +1 not far from finishing here. Queen still hanging about, looking to see if they might be able to get a catch on anything as well. More stalkers warping in. Queen's setting up down the bottom. Overlord taking some shots. Roach still coming through, a couple of Ravages mixed in as well, and we'll see one of those Stalkers already going down. The Stasis Ward's going to catch a chunk of Roaches. Ravages too getting caught over there, as the Oracles will activate and continue to go back onto the Lings. Reno is building up the Dropper Lord, so it feels as though he's going to get some amount of aggressive, but he's also building +2 melee. Kind of a weird mix, 61 drones only, but the +2 melee is what doesn't really make sense more than anything else. There's a couple of Corrosive Vows land nicely. Those Stalkers taking damage. That's a dead pylon, so that's a dead warping point. And now Reno might be able to chase this across the map. So, okay, interesting little scenario. Obviously, I mean, Trap being pretty aggressive. Now Reno shuts it down. Is set up on a very good Ling Ravager force and is going to start moving. The Oracles don't have too much energy to shut units down with. And it's still just more Stalkers being warped in. But I think Reno has enough to come wrap around this and play that huge just denial. Corrosive Val still landing, the battery taken out, Lings are still charging on in, 8 probes have dropped, and this looks as though we do have Reno able to keep on hunting down everything else. Stalker still blinking backwards, extra Ling Roach in production, more Stalkers still warping in, the pylon goes down, the cannon goes down, we continue to fight as 13 probes have died, and Reno seemingly doing enough on this shove so far. Even if he kind of has to back away at some point soon, the damage dealt is already very serious, and to be fair, it doesn't look like he has to back away anytime soon either. And maybe in case this game did get drawn out another fight or two, +2 melee would have come into play, so maybe that could have been the scale tipper, given, you know, at the end of the day, but not quite going to be the case on this one, as our Ravages and Lings do continue to finish off this Nexus. Reno up. Plenty of supply, plenty of workers. Third base going down, so there's a base on the left side still available, but it's just not that much left realistically from Trap. He's even losing a couple of Stalkers, just a couple of Lings on that top side as well, so that's not pretty. That's not going to leave him in a good spot. And a few Corrosive Vials to just help finish up this base, which is not long for this world either. And there you have it. Reno is going to take the 1-0 lead in this best of 3. Getting off to a strong start into the next one in just a few. Alright, waiting for our second game. Trap just hosted up on Alcyone for our second game. Alright, Trap and Reno coming through, getting set to go. Waiting for Reyno to ready up. Alright, let's head into this, guys. It's going to be Alcyone. It's going to be game number 2. Reyno leads by a map. In the top right, trying to bounce back and make a series of this one. Our blue Protoss player is Trap. Bottom left, red Zerg is Reyno. Alright, well, first few moments, there's already going to be a hatchery on the gold base, so we get that underway. Forge gate coming up, couple pylons still coming through, and we are going to be seeing Trap deciding to go and essentially cannon rush the gold base, which some players kind of go for. It can work out. It can be an interesting way to kind of play this. So you can see both these pylons going through. Another pylon goes down. That walls the probe in currently. We just need that forge to finish to build the first cannon, and then we'll have a cannon untouchable behind the gold. And definitely is going to throw Reyno off, but perhaps a worthwhile throwing off, as Reyno cancels. I mean, he gets cancels. It's a huge investment from Trap. He's already paid. I mean, Reyno lost 75 mils and a delayed hatchery, yes. Trap has a delayed cyber core, and Trap has invested 225 minerals so far, 375 if he lets that cannon finish. It looks as though he will, so overall, I honestly don't hate this for Reyno. Yeah, okay, you don't get the gold, but the investment from Trap to deny the gold base is definitely pretty high. Pretty darn substantial, to say the least. As Azel comes through, a couple lings get chased away. And the Queen just continues up in production as well, so bring that forwards. Again, I feel like he's going to have to deal with this Zelt, which is currently lurking around, trying to find some opportunities. Well, the Adept is going to go shading upwards and going to try and find some defense against this Ling, try and deny scouting. Although there's nothing to really be scouted. Again, with the Forge commitment, the latest Cyber Core, everything else is kind of knocked off a little bit as well. Things still coming through, the Stargate coming up, Ling speed is coming about, additional drones building. And you have ourselves a little skirmish here as the two Adepts and a Zealot show up on this side. It's kind of interesting because they can always run back to the cannon, right? If you run back to the cannon, you can end up kind of having a safe place to hide, and you know, during a little scrap like this early game. So a small benefit to still having the cannon up. Well, Lings will continue around. The Adept trying to find some drones, but has to shade away. So Reyno doing his utmost to try and keep his workers alive this game. And Trap with the Stargate done, halfway to the Oracle. bring that by. Oracle will be our next way to try and find some drone kills here. Nexus job, so Trap is ready to just move in towards the third base, keep that on the go as well. There's our +1 attack upgrade coming up. Solid production, 1 or 2 of those being added in there. Again, the Nexus and a couple of additional probes continue by also. Just bringing all of that through for the moment. We actually have feelings kind of on the watchtower there for a second. The Adept trying to play the turnaround on those. The Oracle's coming across. Ling's going to head back to the upper right-hand side where the Nexus is going to get nibbled a little. The Zealot now getting caught. Ling's got the full surround on that Zealot and that goes down without issue. We'll drop the inject. Still got +1 attack upgrade coming up. Twilight Counselor's coming through. The Forge also in production here. And Roadtron on the way in. A few additional drones and the Overlords also producing right now. Continue to bring that all out. We'll activate and get rid of a couple of those Crypt Tumors. And just have ourselves the rocks revelated. Now Oracle's still pulling away around that right-hand side. Twilight Council Forge and Robo Facility continuing to produce. Got the Oracles picking up a few drones as we watch these Lings fight the Adepts. The Oracles, they actually went to the main base as well. Are they going to continue for more? So many low HP drones. We get 2 more eventually. Took a little bit of micro, but we got there in the end. So the Oracles do deliver at least a few more shots of damage. As our Lings still trying to play that wraparound game. A couple of these Adepts getting caught once more. Actually going to get a full cleanup on those. So that's going to be a nice catch also. Another little bonus. Observer coming out. Additional gates going through. Probes are still producing onwards. And these Oracles just setting out the front here for a few moments. Another group of Stalkers just getting warped in.